I've been in the Apple ecosystem for a while now, with iPhone XS Max as my primary phone, the classic MacBook Air as my primary computer, AirPods to listen to music on the go, and recently got the Apple Watch 6. There's also this iPad which I mostly use as a teleprompter. I've been using all of them for a year now, so let's talk about the experience of the Apple ecosystem. What are the pros and cons, my ownership experience, and should you eventually consider moving towards it? You know, the real truth. But before we begin, shout out to ClearTax. As you know, Indian government has extended the deadline to file an ITR to December 31st, 2020. So if you haven't filed your ITR yet, do it before 31st December with ClearTax. I've personally used ClearTax to file my returns just like 5 million Indians, and the best part is you file your ITR for free and win assured rewards worth Rs 51,000. Here's how it works in 3 simple steps. Number 1, upload the Form 16 and ClearTax will automatically prepare your income tax return. Next, validate your information. ClearTax provides a step-by-step guidance with screenshot-based tutorial. And finally, finish e-filing in just under 7 minutes. Moreover, ClearTax respects your privacy and doesn't share your information or use it in any other way. Check out ClearTax, first link in the description below. Now, moving on. Now, one of the most iconic thing about the Apple ecosystem is the feature called continuity, which in simple words make it seamless to move between your devices. It basically syncs the clipboard, messages, call, search history, AirDrop across all the devices in the Apple ecosystem. Let's take few personal examples to understand it. So, the number one Apple ecosystem feature that I use 10 times a day is Clipboard Sync. The other day I was searching for the new M1 Mac Mini on Google Maps. Since there is no stock available online, I found a number of a retailer, press the copy to clipboard button on Mac, and then open the phone app on my iPhone and paste the number. Works every time. Another continuity feature between Mac and iPhone that I use quite often a day is calling. So say when I get a call on my iPhone which is charging away from me and I don't want to get up and break my flow, I can pick up the call from my Mac itself and route the call through the AirPods. The call clarity is pretty good too. Similarly, the iPhone works great with the Apple Watch under the ecosystem. For example, we recently moved to a new studio where you have to approve entry of your guest before they can enter the building, else they might have to wait unnecessarily. This means I always have to keep my iPhone with me, which is a lot of hassle when I'm playing sports or swimming. But with the combination of Apple Watch and iPhone, it not only shows you the notification on your Apple Watch, but there's also an approve button and you can see a high resolution photo of the guest. The third thing I use the Apple ecosystem for is the camera control from my Apple Watch. So yeah, there are a lot of times when I'm shooting videos on my iPhone. For example, the other day I was testing the air purifier and capturing the footage on my iPhone. But since I cannot just sit there for 2 or 3 hours, I use the Apple Watch to control the camera on my iPhone and then record the reading every 10 minutes. You can also zoom in and zoom out, which really helps to see the reading accurately. Again, camera control is something that other fitness band and smartwatch also provide, but if you've ever used them before, you will realize they aren't reliable for any kind of serious work. That's not the case with Apple ecosystem though. If the feature exists in the ecosystem, it works 10 out of 10 times. That's in fact one of the key reasons why Apple ecosystem is quite popular for productivity. Now, these were some of the pros of Apple ecosystem, but there's definitely cons to it as well, which I have encountered in the past few years. So one of the major cons of Apple ecosystem is apps availability, especially in India where there are very few apps in Apple ecosystem compared to Windows or Android. For example, the other day I was trying to configure the Realme security camera with my iPhone, and turns out Realme hasn't made an iOS version of their app yet. Yes, there is no Realme Link app for iPhone, which means if you have an iPhone and you bought any Realme IoT product, you won't be able to use it. So I had to use another Android smartphone to set it up, and now anytime I want to see my security footage from outside, I had to carry another secondary phone, or it's just not possible. And it's not just Realme app. There are many small startups in India which don't make iOS version of their app as well. And I don't even blame them, since the market share of iPhone in India is roughly 3%. Another major con of getting into the Apple ecosystem is the cost. It's not just Apple products are priced insanely in India, AirPods Pro Max, but even once you get it, it's not over. For example, the glass back of this iPhone broke and I wasn't even aware of it. The cost of replacement is 40,000 rupees, and obviously applying a skin, shout out to Capes India, is much better option than getting it repaired. And it's not just iPhone, there is a scratch on my Apple Watch 6 as well, and my daily driver MacBook Air needs a battery replacement in just 2.5 years. They all cost a lot, I mean a lot. not to forget the 2-year-old MacBook Pro that we bought for editing videos has screen burning issues, which will cost another 40,000 to fix it. The point is, not only the Apple products are expensive, but if things go south, they are expensive to repair as well. Okay, so to sum it up, my experience with the Apple ecosystem is all Apple products are good standalone products, but under the ecosystem, they change from good to great. For example, let's say on a scale of 0 to 10, the utility of this iPhone in my life is 7. Now, if I add an Apple Watch to it, I will be able to do more stuff with my iPhone, like approving guests, controlling cameras, etc., which increase the utility of this iPhone from 7 to 8. Similarly, if I bring this AirPods, I will be able to seamlessly switch music, which again increase the productivity of this iPhone to 8.5. And then again, if I bring in Mac, I can easily copy paste and send files over AirDrop, thus again bumping the utility of this iPhone to 9.5. So, should you get into the Apple ecosystem? Well, that depends on the pros and cons. If the pros outweighs the con, then you should, and if not, then you should not. For example, the pros of Apple ecosystem is significantly increase in productivity. Also in India, there's definitely some status symbol attached to Apple ecosystem. Bitter truth. While the cons are, getting into the ecosystem is expensive and so is the repair cost. Also, there is less wiggle room if you're into tinkering and trying out new stuff. So if you can afford it right now and wants to increase your productivity, then Apple ecosystem makes sense. Else, you can keep it in your bucket list and work towards it in the future. Although most people I know sooner or later get into the ecosystem the moment they buy an Apple product, usually a Mac or an iPhone. Either way, do let me know which is your favorite Apple product in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next one.